All right, next up we got Moon Knight.
So Moon Knight is a show that I think, sadly for me, I did not like as much as I wanted to.
Mhm.
It started out pretty high with a very strong first episode. Then it started to drag a little bit in the middle. It falls into the same problem that a lot of other shows have for me. It's where it feels like a bad combination between a 2-hour movie and a 10, 13-hour TV season of television. This is a bad middle ground. It's like this show can't decide if it wants to focus on just the character of Moon Knight, like you would normally do in a 2-hour movie, or they want to combine season 1 of information plus season 2 of information, cut down to shreds to put together into one season. It's kind of like what Moon Knight does. Miss Marvel has a similar problem.
Mhm.
And sadly for me, Moon Knight does not work as well, just off the fact that Moon Knight, first of all, is barely in it.
Yeah.
It's very jumbled and not very put together. I feel like it's not cohesive from one story to the next, from episode to the next. And besides from the first episode, the 5th episode, I believe, in the institution with Ethan Hawke, where it's all inside of Oscar Isaac's head, is a phenomenal episode.
Yeah.
And Oscar Isaac himself is amazing.
Mhm.
Unbelievable in this role. I'm so happy he's Moon Knight, and I can't wait to see more of him. It's just
Yeah.
this show didn't work for me, and a lot of the episodes I found underwhelming. 2 really positive episodes for me. So I mean, I don't hate it, I don't dislike it, I don't love it either. So I'm gonna put it in the C tier. It's okay. It's okay to me.
Yeah, I feel very similarly. The show starts off strong. It's got this really interesting setup, and you got some really interesting mythology and lore, around this whole around this character of Moon Knight, and the whole Khonshu spirit thing. Whenever Moon Knight actually shows up, and when we see him, in the full suit, those scenes are super cool. And I really wish that we got like way more Moon Knight action. Oscar Isaac is really good, especially in episode 5 when he's in that institution, and just the way that he plays off of himself, and these different personalities, was really fun to watch. I thought that Ethan Hawke was really good too. I think the guy's a fantastic actor, even though I felt like his character was definitely a bit underwritten, and really not like super memorable, and didn't really get like a whole lot to do. I think the show's decent. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's terrible. I think it's like decent, and it does have some cool moments, and some really good performances. Yeah, so I'm gonna put it in the B tier. I think for me the positives, do somewhat outweigh the negatives. So I think it's decent, but it could have and should have been a lot better.
I think this is one of the shows though that has the best costume design.
Yeah, I agree.
Moon Knight's suit is awesome.
Yeah, his suit was awesome. Yeah,
really cool. Well, we never get to see it, so that stinks.
Yeah. I hope we could. I do hope we are going to see more of him in a bit of a better story.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Okay, so I am a sucker for this movie. A lot of people dislike this movie, and I have no idea why.
Yeah.
This movie it oozes Sam Raimi.
Mm-hmm.
Which Sam Raimi's my favorite director.
Yeah.
It oozes him. This movie is so Sam Raimi, and it's not Spider-Man Sam Raimi.
Evil Dead Raimi.
Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Evil Dead Raimi, which I love Evil Dead Raimi.
Yeah, that old school Raimi, yeah.
Old school Raimi, it's awesome. And this movie's common critique is it doesn't live up to the title Multiverse of Madness. That is wrong.
Yeah.
At the end of this movie, Doctor Strange puts his mind into a dead version of himself from another universe to fight Wanda. Like, I don't know what people want.
Yeah.
Wanda murders the entire Illuminati of another universe.
Yeah.
Doesn't get much more multiversey than that. So I don't get what people are looking for. This movie has great action. It has great tension. Wanda Maximoff, Elizabeth Olsen is great in this movie. She's probably the best part of this whole movie.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah.
She's great. And Sam Raimi said it wanted to feel like a chase film. Like Wanda was chasing them through the multiverse. That it hits 100% right there. This movie it's tension. It's nonstop. It's action. It's moving. And you feel it the whole time. The movie goes by like that. The pacing is incredible. The action's great. I don't get what people hated it for. I love it to death. S tier for me.
Yeah, I love it too. I have no idea where all the hate for this movie came from. and I don't get it, and I don't get it, and I like vehemently disagree with it. You know, this film just oozes, you know, Sam Raimi. Like, I was so excited when it was announced that he was going to direct it. It's got all of his trademarks. It's got like the crazy camera angles. It's got the transitions. It's got the you know, Evil Dead and like drag me to hell horror elements. You know, like there are just so many cool moments in it. So you know, like I said, that scene where Doctor Strange possesses this other version of himself, and we get like a zombie Strange, and you got these freaking demons just flying around him, and you uses the demons as like wings and like a shield, and like that scene was so freaking cool, and like the Evil Dead the Evil Dead similarities were very apparent in that one, and there was also that scene where they're in where they're in Carmitage, and Wanda's invading it, and that scene where she like goes through you know, the mirror, the reflection, you know, that was so cool. It's like I love how this film really incorporated a lot of like horror elements. You know, there were even some moments that kind of pushed the boundaries of like the PG-13 rating. Like there were some moments I was like, hey, can they do that in this kind of movie? And yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
I
yeah, me
love
too.
that they're pushing the boundaries.
Yeah,
And Raimi is like, you know what? People in my movie, people are gonna die.
yeah,
People
they're
are gonna
trying out
murder each other.
new things.
Yeah, I'm gonna scare you in
I
the
know.
movie. I want people to be scared in the cinema. That's
Yeah, man.
Sam Raimi's awesome. I don't get the hate for this movie.
Yeah, me neither. The performances are fantastic, especially from Elizabeth Olsen. The score from Danny Elfman, Raimi's frequent collaborator, is also really good. Sam Raimi's the go. Don't have a lot to say other than I thought this film was awesome, and I don't get hate for it whatsoever. Easy S tier for me. Yeah.
I was happy to hear.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got Miss Marvel.
Okay, so Miss Marvel is a series that I liked a lot. Started out very strong. I mean, some of the most creative things I've seen on television in a long time.
Mhm.
I mean, I was watching this show and I was so surprised because this show, like, it came out kind of out of nowhere. Marketing wasn't really that great for it. I didn't really know it was coming out. Summer hit. A lot of things were happening during the summer, and then boom, this show came out. And I was like, okay, wow, new Marvel content. Let's watch. It was really great. Very creative. Very fun. Literally had like text messages on the wall. Her ceiling fan was coming to life, showing her. You use the things around her to show emotion and to show what she was thinking, and that's really clever, really creative. But I have a very problem with the beginning, like the middle of the show. So this is another problem with Marvel TV. I think is that they take 2 seasons of television, squash them together to try to get one compelling story because they don't want to spread one out for so far like you're supposed to with television. You're supposed to create it and have character moments and character developments. This one, like the beginning of the show, Miss Marvel getting her powers, trusting her powers, you know, getting used to them. In the middle of the show, they go into her backstory, her family's deep backstory, and I think this whole section of the show feels like it's meant for season 2. It's the way it feels to me. And then after they complete the middle part of the show, they come back to where they were at the beginning to resolve the show. And this is just another. I have a problem with Marvel TV at the moment. Their TV shows, I think a lot of them, besides Loki, have big problems.
Yeah, just the structure, just like the structure, and like you know the pacing, because like starts off strong, you know, really drags in the middle, then it impacts back up again. I'm just not a big fan of the whole like 6-episode, each an hour long structure. Mainly the way that they pace these shows. I'm just not a big fan of it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, after watching shows like Breaking Bad, 13-episode seasons,
Yeah.
1 hour each, you get hard time with these characters and their emotions, and you get backstories for every character throughout the show. This one, it's like 2 episodes, boom, new plot line, 2 episodes, explain backstory, boom, oh, we still got a villain to cover up, or the villain to finish up the villain here, set up a future sequel, all within 5 hours. I don't like the 6-episode format. I think it struggles in Miss Marvel too. Better than most shows. So I think Miss Marvel's fine. It's a B. I really enjoyed it. I like the ending. Middle drags a lot. Seems to be the formulaic case for the majority of these shows.
I definitely agree with that. And I'm gonna put this in the A tier. Amani Villani. It's pronounced Iman Villani, you silly. is fantastic as the lead. She's so likable and so charismatic, and I can't wait to see her in the Marvels. I love the dynamic between Kamala Khan and her family. All those scenes where she's with her family, and particularly the father, like he was awesome. Like those scenes, in my opinion, were easily like the best ones in the show. I love I love the visual style, and just the unique presentation that the show starts out with with the text messages on the screen and everything. It was like a live action comic book. It gave me heavy like Edgar Wright vibes, like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and Baby Driver. I thought the villains were like extremely forgettable and like extremely generic, and I think the pacing definitely could have been a bit better. And plus, I wish that they really like stuck with the unique, the style, because halfway through, that just kind of goes away, and we have to get this new storyline and introduce these villains, and I just really wish that they like kept going, kept going with that. Apart from those issues, I thought the show was really enjoyable. I love the characters. I love the positive Muslim representation. I love the action and the visual style, and just kind of like the lighthearted and relatable vibe, and tone of everything. So yeah, I really enjoyed the show. I'm gonna put it in the A tier, and I can't wait to see I can't wait to see more of this character in the future.
Yeah, I agree with that last part. I'm very excited to see Miss Marvel in the Marvels. Like I said, or like you said, Ismana Slani is a great actress. She's great in this role. I'm happy this show exists.
Yeah, me too.
Like we're diversifying in Marvel,
Absolutely.
getting new different types of content. It's just happy that this exists, along with all the stuff on the show, stuff on the list here. Like even if it's all not good, whatever. We're making a lot of things that can appeal to different people, and we're bringing in a bigger crowd from Marvel. That's always good.
Absolutely.
I'm very happy that this show exists.
Yeah, me too. All right, next up is Thor: Love and Thunder. Oh boy, this will be a doozy.
Okay, I don't like Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
I didn't like it immediately as I left the theater. I think Taika Waititi, excuse me, went overboard on this one.
Yeah.
Taika Waititi went overboard. He is probably the most self-indulgent director working today. Just because, I mean, in this show or in this movie, you can just tell that I feel like he was just like, I can do it, and I'm doing it. It's jokes a mile a minute. I mean, constant jokes throughout this entire film. When you're dealing with subject matter like cancer, and like dissolving from religion and taking action against that, and then or also like overcoming past depression and moving on. This film is dealing with difficult subject matter, but yet it is using jokes to do it, and constant jokes with running gags that go on for the entire film, and then it has an ending that is just insulting.
Yeah.
It is insulting to the audience. This film made Thor a parody. And it's not good. It feels like a self-parody of Thor when you're trying to. This is one of the most badass characters in Marvel. I mean, he's awesome.
Yeah.
And you turn him into a laughingstock where he's like trying to seduce a hammer, and not trying to make another hammer jealous. And I didn't even mention Christian Bale. You have Christian Bale in the villain.
Yeah, Christian Bale.
He's barely on screen.
Yeah, barely in it. Yeah.
Barely in the movie. Cut most of his stuff. I don't get it. I do not like this movie. I didn't like it as soon as it came out the theater. By the time when it first came out, a lot of people were high on it. That completely went away. Everybody hates this movie now.
Yeah. And, for good reason, I think.
Even Chris Hemsworth doesn't like this movie.
Yeah.
So, whatever. I don't like this movie. D tier. But worst of Phase 4.
Yeah, I agree. I'm also putting this in the D tier. This was a massive disappointment for me because I think Taika Waititi is a very talented director. I really enjoyed the direction he took the Thor character with the Ragnarok. And that's actually one of my favorite MCU films. And he's made some other really good films, like What We Do in the Shadows and Jojo Rabbit. Something else I just realized, something else I just thought about is that this movie is dealing with some very serious themes. Pretty much every single event in this movie, pretty much every event in this movie is treated as a joke, and every single moment of like dramatic tension and emotion, it has to be undercut with it has to be just undercut with a joke that most of the time it just does not land, and just goes on for way too long. And the thing that frustrates me, and the thing I realized, I mean, is that Taika Waititi has proven that he can do humor well. Like Jojo Rabbit is a film about the Holocaust that also is more of a comedy, but at least that it still took things seriously. And it wasn't jokes like every other second. But with this film, he just went like way overboard, and I feel like he let the success of Ragnarok really go to his head, and it just did not work. They say that there's such thing as too much of a good thing. Because I really enjoyed Ragnarok, but this is Ragnarok. This was like Ragnarok on steroids. Just all the weak elements of that film, and basically like weaknesses of the MCU in general, like the over reliance on humor and the lackluster CGI. It just those qualities it just amplified, and this film, and yeah, it was just it was just a massive letdown. Chris Hemsworth, Natalie Portman, and Christian Bale all gave fine performances, but like you said, Christian Bale is just completely wasted, and their performances are just not enough, to save this movie from being just the letdown that it is, and it frustrates me to no end.
Yeah, agreed. And like you said earlier, Taika Waititi is a good filmmaker. He made Jojo Rabbit. I love Jojo Rabbit, and
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok is good. Thor Ragnarok has tension. It has serious moments. It takes a second when Odin passed away to reflect on that and have a serious moment. Thor, when he's chatting with Loki, is serious and it builds characters. This movie has none of that. It's all thrown out the window.
Yeah.
Even when Thor and Jane Foster are talking, jokes constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly. And the only time it is serious is at 2 hours into the movie where you're already done. You're
Yeah.
already rolling your eyes and saying, I'm no, screw you, movie.
I know.
And it's trying to be serious then.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next up, we got I Am Groot. These are basically just a cute series of Groot shorts. There's not much to say about these other than it's Groot and the cute little mini adventures. Not reinventing the wheel by any means, but still pretty solid. I'm gonna put this in the B tier.
Yeah, I agree. There is nothing I find wrong about this series. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's cute. They're less than 5 minutes long.
Mhm.
It's cute that Groot fast forwards through the intro of Marvel because he doesn't care. And I love that they just get right to the point. They're little cute shorts for kids, and there's nothing wrong with them. I think they should do more of these.
Yeah.
There's a worse way to spend 20 minutes. So
Totally. Yeah.
just fine. B tier.
Yeah. It reminds me of those shorts that they would have in the previews, before Pixar movies. It gave me that
Yeah.
kind of vibe, and I think this worked really well. Next up, we got She-Hulk.
Okay. She-Hulk is a TV show that I am very happy exists. Going into She-Hulk, I was extremely excited for it. Sitcom, comedy style legal drama. I just been watching Better Call Saul. Yes, give it to me. Legal stuff. I love it. It's okay.
Yeah.
I temper my expectations. It's fine. It's okay. A lot of the show has just points it's trying to make. I feel like this show is trying to make a point more than it's trying to tell a story at some points, which makes sense because of the very toxic fans online who dislike shows for stupid reasons. So I understand why they are making points. I get
that. Yeah.
However, for me, who is a normal person watching TV and is watching it for the story, I found myself lackluster here in that department. Because this show literally, we're talking spoilers here.
Yeah.
This show writes a story on purpose, like it writes a story bad on purpose, so that it can make fun of itself in the finale. That's what it does. It makes fun of itself for writing something stupid. So the writers, they make fun of the writers in the show.
Yeah.
But for me, I was like, I already didn't like this show. I didn't like the story in the show. Therefore, you make fun of it. I don't like that either. So it's just this show. It took a huge gamble. For me, I didn't really like it. I felt like as an audience member, it was kind of insulting to watch a whole show just in the last 20 minutes to erase everything I just watched for 9 weeks. Because granted, this is a 1 week episode at a time. 9 episodes, 9 weeks long period of my watching. Last 20 minutes, they say, nope, none of that matters. We're redoing everything because it didn't make sense. So for me as a audience member, it's a little frustrating. However, Tatiana Maslany is great.
Yeah.
The episodes Daredevil are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All the legal stuff is good. It's entertaining
Yeah.
to watch. This show, I kind of like the one case a week sort of thing. It's
Yeah.
very entertaining. It's fun. It's fine. B tier, fine television. Do not pick this apart because you'll spend all day doing it. If you choose to pick it apart, if you choose to just chillax and watch it, you'll have a good time. B tier.
Yeah. Tatiana Maslany is great. She's super charismatic and likable. I love the sitcom format of the show. It's like a legal drama. It's like a legal drama comedy thing with these different cases every week, and a lot of these cases involving superheroes and involving superpowered situations. I thought the fourth wall breaking was like occasionally cool and occasionally funny, but like I said, it gets to a point where it seems like that they're using the fourth wall format to excuse and make fun of the flawed stories that they had purposely written to be flawed. Just so that in the last episode, they can make fun of it and make fun of all these different cliches. And I think my only complaints with the show would be that like some of the jokes don't land, and that a lot of the CGI is often very like iffy and like cartoonish looking. It ranges from looking okay to just like straight up cartoony. Like it definitely veers into a Shrek like uncanny valley territory, and that's been a problem with Marvel and like blockbusters in general for a while. It just the VFX artists are just being rushed and overworked, and a lot of times it really shows. But apart from that, I thought the show was pretty entertaining. I love the episode with Daredevil in particular, and the chemistry between Tatiana and Charlie Cox is just top notch. I'm gonna give the show a solid B. And I don't think it's worthy of like a lot of the hate it's been getting. Because like I said, a lot of people are just hating on it, for stupid reason.
Yeah, if you want to hate on the last episode, that's fine.
Yeah,
I get it. But hating on the show from the very beginning because it's called She-Hulk.
Yeah.
That's pretty annoying.
Yeah,
But what you said earlier about the fourth wall breaking, yeah, it works sometimes, and when it works really good.
Yeah.
Like in the episode where Daredevil was flirting with her, and she looks at the camera and she's like, "Is this working for you guys?"
Oh yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's working. That's funny. That's clever.
That's good.
I like it.
That's good stuff.
So the show has a lot of the high moments are really high, but the low moments are really low.
Yeah. The next project that will be covered is the Marvel special presentation Werewolf by Night. As a result, here is a fun change of music and black and white filter because why the hell not? Enjoy. Alright, next up on the roster, we have the first Marvel special presentation. I think this is a really cool format that they're adapting now, and I really hope that they do more with this in the future, where it's not a TV show, it's not like a full movie either, just a cool mini adventure. So I think that's really cool. So we got the first of these specials, Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, so I completely agree with you. I love this format. The special presentation feels like a more natural fit for Disney Plus rather than the 6-episode series or a full-on 2-hour movie.
Mm-hmm.
The special presentations, both of them, I liked a lot, and Werewolf by Night, I thought was great.
Yeah,
I love the acting. I love the story in Werewolf by Night, but I also love the direction, the cinematography. It has some great action scenes. And it really surprised me. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. But it's just a short little mini adventure that gives you more ties to the MCU, more backstory, more lore to the MCU, which is always good. But it also introduces new fun characters that you're rooting for and you want to see in the future, specifically Werewolf by Night and Man-Thing. So it's I like Werewolf by Night a lot. I'm gonna give it an A tier. I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it too. I love that in this phase of the MCU, it seems like they're finally deciding to get a bit more experimental and trying out these different concepts and different directions and different styles. And I think in the case of Werewolf by Night, it massively paid off. To me, it's very very reminiscent of like old school like Universal monster movies. Everything from the practical effects and just the set design and creature design. I loved Man-Thing in the special. Like that was such a cool character. I love the cinematography and that the majority of the thing is in black and white, which gives it a really cool look. And the other cool thing is that It does that thing reminiscent of like Sin City or like WandaVision, where in like certain parts, where like in certain parts of it you see some stuff and that's like in color, and while why everything else is in black and white, like that opening scene where they're all in the meeting thing, and the crystal, whatever it's called, you know, they got like the red like crystal MacGuffin thing, where it's like shining red, but the rest of the scene is in black and white, and I thought that was super cool. Um, Gil Garcia Bernal, who I think is a very underrated actor, is really good in this, and so is Laura Donnelly. This was a great directorial debut from Michael Giacchino, who is one of my favorite composers. He did the Batman earlier this year, and you know, Up, The Incredibles, and the guy's done tons of great work. And he did the score. He did, you know, and he also composed the music for this, and did a great job in that department as well. And and yeah, this was a big this was a big surprise. I enjoyed this immensely. I cannot wait to see what Michael Giacchino does next, directing wise, because he said in an interview that he's been interested in directing for a while now, and is happy that he finally got an opportunity to do so. And I'm really excited to see what what Marvel does, what Marvel decides to do with these characters, and with this lore, and with this special presentation for for format in the future. So yeah, I loved it, and I'm gonna put it in the S tier.
I hope since Blade lost his director recently, I hope
Yeah.
you know, he takes over Blade. I think he'd be a good choice for Blade.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Because I love like you said, the practical effects here, the set design, and just how they made practical effects on the werewolf transformation himself. It looked awesome.
Yeah, that was so
And
cool.
It feels like you said, old school monsters, like the Monsters or the Addams family, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's old stuff. It's awesome, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that we're still doing some practical stuff in Marvel. It feels like
Absolutely.
everyone has a nano suit nowadays, and it was nice to go practical for a change.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. Yeah. We now return to our regularly scheduled programming. I hope you're enjoying my impression of the French narrator from SpongeBob SquarePants, because I am never going to stop doing it. Okay, next up, we got Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Now, we already did a full review of this, so please go check that out. But in short, I thought this was a great movie. It's excellent, it's mature, it's emotional, it's action-packed, it's a great tribute to Chadwick Boseman. All the performances are fantastic, especially from Angela Bassett and Letitia Wright, and like I think Ryan Coogler and I think Ryan Coogler once again killed it, and really in my opinion, pulled off the impossible, because the filmmakers and the crew and they were really put in this difficult situation after the sudden death of Chadwick Boseman. And I think that they absolutely knocked it out of the park. So I'm gonna so for me this is an easy S tier.
Okay, yeah, I also agree that it's a great movie. Ryan Coogler is one of my favorite directors working today. Michael B. Jordan is one of my favorite actors, and he was in the film. Chadwick Boseman suddenly passing away, had a very terrible effect on this film, just going into it like, hey, how are they going to resolve this? How are they going to repay respects to him? And it was handled perfectly. This movie is a perfect send-off for him and his character, because he is just the most likable actor and a huge face for so many people that it's so sad that he passed away, man. And I think they handled it perfectly. For this film to be able to pull off that feat is very impressive, and it's just wonderful that this movie exists. So I agree. I don't think it's an S tier film, because the middle lags a bit for me. Upon rewatch, it really drug for me. So I'm gonna give it an A. It's still a great movie, but it's not the best of Phase 4, I don't think.
Oh, okay, yeah. And finally, it is time for the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Alright, finally, the latest project in the MCU and the final one in Phase 4, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, which is also a special presentation.
Yep, so the holiday special, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, was by James Gunn himself. Probably the most hated man on the internet right now.
Yeah.
I love James Gunn. He's probably my the director. He's fantastic. Everything he does, I enjoy.
Yeah.
And this is no different. The holiday special is full of compelling characters. It's full of great music. I'm listening to the soundtrack. I was listening to it earlier today because it's Christmas themed and it's awesome.
It's great, yeah.
And yeah, James Gunn tells great stories with great characters, and he makes you enjoy what you're watching. That's a big part of what he does. When you watch something of his, you're smiling the entire time. And that's what it is, holiday special. Easy S tier for me. James Gunn does it again. And I like how for this special, it focuses on characters we haven't had a lot of time with in other projects, Drax and Mantis especially. And it's nice that we are learning more about them and letting the other characters, which we know a lot about already, rest to the side and be supporting characters for once. It's nice. It's a good change of pace. And James Gunn building out the team. We're adding Cosmo to the team, Kraglin, Nebula, I guess, sort of on the team now officially.
Yeah.
This is just, it's a great Christmas holiday special. I love that Marvel's doing stuff like this. I want more stuff like this. I hope we get a holiday special next year and a Halloween special once again. Holiday and Halloween. So yeah, I loved it. S tier.
Yeah, I loved it as well, and I'm also putting this in the S tier. I love James Gunn's work. I love Guardians. I love Guardians 2 even more. The Suicide Squad was the Suicide Squad was great. Peacemaker, and even like his non-Marvel DC stuff, like Super and Slither, were really good. I love how he's been able to take he's been able to take these comic characters that seem like really silly and really obscure, and like really make you care about them. Like before watching the Suicide Squad, I never thought I would care about someone called the Polka Dot Man. But he managed to pull it off. So there you go. As far as this special goes, I loved it. I loved it. I thought this was a great holiday special. This just has so much heart and emotion. The music is great, and James Gunn always has like great soundtracks and for his projects. And this special I think was a real showcase for Dave Bautista and Pom Clemente. I think that's how you say her name. Because as you said, Drax and Mantis initially have been kind of sidelined and just been supporting characters, but in this one they get to have a lot more screen time, and they're both fantastic, and they both steal the show. And I've been thinking about recently just how much Dave Bautista has really grown into like a really good actor, both comedically and dramatically. Because like in these films, he has fantastic comedic timing, and in films like Dune and Blade Runner 2049, he can also do great dramatic performances. So I think that's really cool as well.
He's great in Glass Onion as well.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to watch that once it finally hits Netflix. I thought Kevin Bacon was great in this as well, and just like the self-awareness with him, and it's clear that he's having a lot of fun in this special, and I love the chemistry between him, Drax and Mantis, especially when Drax and Mantis find out that he's just an actor, and he didn't actually save the world. Like, oh my god, he's a disgusting actor. That was so funny. It's got great humor, but also has some great dramatic and emotional moments. There's not much I can say. There's not too much I can say. Other than that, I really love this, easy S tier for me.
Yeah, easily agreed. Or James Gunn.
Sorry,
everybody hates him at the moment. James Gunn.
Yeah. It's a complicated thing. This whole DC takeover. Now like DC's been a mess for a while now, but it's especially a mess now, and it's hard to keep up with everything. And I just hope I just hope that James Gunn can really pull something off here with this new universe, and I do think that he can do it. But the whole thing with Henry Cavill and the Snyderverse, it's just, the discourse is just like an absolute mess right now, and
I trust James Gunn completely.
Me too, yeah.
But I'm just sad that Henry's gone.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, he was so good. Yeah.
But also the DC universe should have been rebooted 4 years ago. So
yeah.
I'm fine with it. It's just I wish they wouldn't have showed us Henry and Black Adam if they weren't going to use him. That kind of stinks.
Yeah, it's like a bait and switch,
Yeah, the bait and switch, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, we'll
Like,
see.
James Gunn said that had nothing to do with him, so
yeah, we'll see what happens. That I've I'm optimistic about the future of this operation.
Yeah. Me too.
All right, that is everything. Those are all the projects in Phase 4 of the MCU. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. I hope you guys had a great Christmas, and happy holidays, and a great New Year. And we'll see you next time.